So,
by the way, since you brought it up earlier, I thought a good topic to spin off from was when you referenced earlier that in the German scene, like basically players understand the value of utility in a way that they often, even in some very, very good teams in Counter-Strike, like seem to ignore. Like I think some of the NA teams criminally ignore how you can use the nades, Like famously, we've had many people on this show, Toby, who are IGL's coaches, who say that there are players where, like, basically, if they don't have very good decision making, you almost tell them, like, look, you're just going to shoot people. So you just throw some grenades early in the round, just get rid of them, and then you just run in, like, don't worry after that. Like, we'll leave the rest to us. But I think actually that's one area where a fan probably doesn't understand. There are a lot of really high-level skilled players who don't necessarily understand the value of utility in the way it can be used. Because I've always thought, if you ever talk to coaches or in-game leaders, if you ever notice, right, this is a weird trend, watch in-game leaders who end up in like a 1v1 or a 1v2, the amount of times they have like a flash or a nade or a smoke still left, every other player who's just a frag out, they throw that ages ago. They're not in a 1v1 with that. But if you have that, if a flashbang in the right 1v1, I don't even have to win the aim duel. Maybe I get him out of position or I move into where I want him to be. A grenade, similarly, a smoke can sometimes be amazing, obviously, to enter it. Like, people, I think pro players actually, the ones who haven't got the strategical mindset, they don't even understand individually how important utility can be. To me, it can be the game changer. I think your team's shown that.
Yeah, I think so. Like what you say is completely right. I think as well, like many of the best players in the world, they could improve on that. Of course, like from a coach perspective, you can always do it better. But it's not like not improving what you said, like this one-on-one, or let's say the clutch. I would make a difference between in this clutch. Equipment usage in clutches, for example. Yeah, from some people, I would advise them even not to use it, just utilize the aim maybe. But like this chess basically in the beginning of the map, yeah, I think many good players lose it already. Like it doesn't matter, they don't even know it, yeah, but they lost already the chess game. Just because they use their equipment wrong, yeah. I don't also want to go too much into detail, but I for sure saw that a lot, yeah. Like or there because also,
as in like on a certain site on a map, they threw 3 flashes and 2 of them were unnecessary. So now like right, well they'll only have 1 flash at that part. You can kind of they don't know, they think it's just nothing, like they flashed them or it didn't. But to you can read something from that presumably.
Yeah, especially yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, you can read a lot. You just go into the round, that okay, and now you know exactly how the equipment is, and if you analyze it before, you even know the pattern already before, yeah. Like it's often like that still. You have to say that, and that's, I think people can improve a lot on, but that's not. I mean, that's a small detail of the game that can bring you an advantage in the end. You just have like besides that, if you're just a great player or like a great team with a great team play, you I think it's not. That's why Counter-Strike is also so popular, because if this would be the main part of the game, many people couldn't play it anymore. Yes. Yeah, like this is
Germans would be the best in the world, mate.
I think it gets more important. Like from like every year, it gets more important because like the edge, what you can learn in FPL, for example, or this skill set, let's say, yeah, this is just at one point everyone has it, yeah, but the rest you can just improve it, and that's why like everyone is really good and the people getting better and better and better. But these details make the difference, and yeah, I just know that as well. Yeah, I just played poker for a long time as well online, yeah, and you had this, the whole thing, I think it was sometimes there are parallels, exactly how the scene or like some things developed as well with software, what you used and conclusions and blah, and this is just, I feel sometimes I feel back in time, and I can just say that CS is just still in the beginning of that, I would say, even, yeah, like you can do it. You people, it will be crazy in some years, yeah. What you can like, then it's exactly you hear that Molo, yeah, okay, round is 1. Not 1, but already, okay, that was a mistake. Like they used it, and maybe they even know it already. Fuck yeah, and then like it will be like that. Today, still no one is thinking about some details like that. Yeah, but yeah.
Right, Legia, on this topic, I think your team, the old big, the 2018 and 2017 big, that was the one to me that is the most extreme example of what actually utility usage can do if you do it correctly. Because, like, listen, obviously this isn't a diss to you, you know this. Like, that wasn't the most skilled team. Like, you were beating teams that were on paper, you know. If this was like just an all-star game and we're not playing with tactics, I don't think you guys have beat half these teams. Like, most of them would be a lot better. But you were having some really impressive results against teams primarily for one of these factors, right? What it can do for you.
Yes, 100%. And I also think that, like when we, for example, played at the major in Krakow, I think it was, yes, in Krakow.
Yes.
When we went 3-0 in the group stages, I think teams just feared to play against us because we were so good with grenades and during practice also, and like coming up to the major, because we started from the minor, coming all the way up. No, we played the open qualifiers for the minor even. So we started absolutely from zero and played all the way up to the major. And I think we only lost 2 games total, I think. And I think people realized how good we became. And the teams even copied from us strats and grenades and everything else. So I think there was a lot of like psychology for teams, especially like teams against FaZe. We knew that they would be afraid playing against us because it was still with Kerrigan, I think, this lineup. And I know that Kerrigan has a kind of mental weakness against Fatih when it comes to that, because it gets very competitive. They know each other,
Sure.
They're very good friends, but he wants to beat him, but he respects him so much. So we use it kind of as an advantage. But I think it was like absolutely the key factor for our team. I think we were so good with equipment that we made it possible to reach rank 5, but we were, compared to our skill that we had individually with myself and Gob for the most part, I think it was crazy that we even made it so far. That's how good our team play was, I think. And that's the only reason we made it. And especially like when you speak about how much value a grenade can have, we have this one round on overpass, for example. We call it 115. And it's basically we throw one flash out of Monster and clear the right side, the guy on the right side. And we had like a good follow-up after that. But we won this round like pretty much, I'd say 8 out of 10 times. So it's just pretty much winning a round with $200 spent in the end. You can use it in low force buys when you have like 2,000 and it's still a very good round. And it's so valuable that if you know how to utilize grenades, very good. And it can also win you in clutch rounds. Very important rounds.
Sure. I even think, by the way, the thing you said earlier, Toby, about like the chess match of basically like inferring from what you've seen in the early utility usage, like if someone either did the correct move or if they stacked the site or if they don't have utilities, you can hit that site differently. I even think that's an area that fans don't understand, because I often tell this anecdote, which is that famously back in 2015, one of the things that Carrigan did when he was in TSM was on Dust 2, he was the one that invented where you do the grenade instead of the flash or the smoke when you cross doors on CT side on Dust 2, so that the AWPer doesn't have to like do a smoke to jump over without getting shot. Now, to a fan, they might think, well, what's the big deal? It's like, if you've never played the B bomb site on Dust 2, having a smoke or not having a smoke is a big difference if you're trying to, like, that sounds like so minimal, because to them, they're still going to think, because remember, they're just going to watch the crosshair of the person coming in, they're just going to think, well, he missed the shot. It's like, no, if I have a smoke, it's like, that might give me like 10% chance bigger of win that round, or it gives me another options to delay them, to hold them off, a million things can go in. So these are things, like you said, they won't seem like a big deal, Toby. Like, if someone's the best team in the world, like when Team Liquid was the best team in the world 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I'm sure they didn't give a fuck about this stuff. They really did just run in the site and shoot you in the head. But what even people like that probably don't understand is, if they'd have put in this little effort to get this 1% extra, they'd win more matches. They win another match that they don't win, or, you know, some match where they're not shooting people in the head. It's not working that game, you know.
But what you if I think I understood it correctly. Yeah, you mean that the second B player is using the cross smoke, right? And then they just have just one smoke left.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also, I mean, now if you say that if one A player is using it, it also tells you something, because then they also have just 2 smokes on A left, and then they smoke long, and then they just have 1 smoke left, and then you always like, okay, if you build that always together, if you pay attention on that, then you know exactly what execute you can play and blah blah. Like, it's, of course, it's so complex because but this is exactly what you have to pay attention all the time. Like, and I think teams also got better. I think some teams still not like they are using just equipment, or teams are really good in like the nades the quality of the nades that they are using are really good. Yeah, like many good fixed points, many good combos, many things, but they still don't use it. That they really think about it, like what is going on, like in the round and when to use and stuff. They are just sometimes like using it because everyone is doing it. It's meta as well, yeah. Like, and then they just do it, but they don't really think out of the box often, or like they. It's also like it's so complex, of course, that sometimes you forget something, and then maybe you need to play a complete different. Okay, and that's like I said, I'm still also really connected to the big guys and stuff. That's why I would never go too much into detail, even if I would love to, yeah, because it's a topic I could now.
Yeah, we get it.
I talk 5 hours about it because, and then I would share my screen and show you some no easy stuff. Yeah, what.
There we go.
But I think everyone would like that, of course. But I can't do that. But I can just say there's a lot of stuff people can improve. And what I like most is that sometimes you see something you never saw, of course, yeah, and then it changes everything. Or like also some teams, everyone has a different solution for some scenarios. Let's say if some opponents are using too much equipment in the beginning, of course you can just wait, but some teams are just even more aggressive somehow. Yeah,
catch them with a grenade in the hand.
Yeah, exactly. They will just try to kill you while you're using the equipment, or punish you even. And the others will wait. And like there's, you think, hey, how is that possible? And then you can just always copy different styles. Every country in the world has different solutions. Some players have their, like, if you pay attention, sometimes I watch Demos and say, I don't know how, what's their secret like. And then you see the secret in how they end the round, for example. They always have the best endings. They have everything set in the after plan. They know exactly, they are always like playing this setups, and they have this. They don't care even. They have bad equipment usage. They lose one while they go into the site, but then they will always the after plan, for example, yeah, because they are just genius, like in their setups, like how they play them, and it's not like a coincidence how they play them. So like, and then if you want to have it all perfect, you can spend 24 hours every day. Like after plans, going in, using right equipment, you can always improve. I have to say, that's really amazing. Like that's the part of the game I also enjoy most. And when I'm watching something and I understand something, then I'm really hyped, yeah, to tell it someone. Like how like it's. If you watch behind the not carpet, how do you call this in the theater? Not carpet. Vorhang. I don't know how it's called.
If you look behind the sort of the curtains, the curtains. There you go.
If you see behind it, and wow, it's like that. It's insane, yeah. And then you talk about it later, and then you have this idea, and this is what I always enjoyed most, for sure.
This is one of the reasons. Go on.
Whatever he just said is fucking valuable for every coming every player. Like, this was fucking serious.
Oh no, mate! That is the perception if you join.
This is very valuable. It's very valuable what he said. So
that is also the perception, by the way, if you join big, is that you join big and then you get like an email, like, oh, here's your email when you're joining. Like, what's this like 300 megabyte PDF I have to download? It's like, that's a Smoke Swan. That's just Mirage. Like, fucking hell, all right. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.